Hello and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering EDH deck tech idea. Today we are taking a look at Brokkos, Apex of Forever. It is a 5 mana 6/6 with Trample, and you may cast Brokkos, Apex of Forever, from your graveyard using its Mutate ability. Mutate is an alternative casting cost, and you can cast this card onto target non-human creature, and you can either put it below or above the usual target card, but in addition to that you also give it all of your abilities. Due to the fact that we are in Sultai colors, we got a huge package to build around, and I built Brokkos to be an infect beatdown deck, and using all of the most powerful tools in Sultai colors to achieve that, we will just build one powerful creature that will clap all of our opponents for a bunch of damage due to trample, and also giving our opponents poison counters due to trample, and as soon as all of our opponents got an infect counter, we will just proliferate those to win the game. In the early game we will either want to ramp or bring out a few of our very cheap infect creatures that we will later on mutate onto. So we play Flensermite, a 2 mana 1/1 with infect and lifelink. As soon as one of our early infect creatures, it will be clear that we will be target number 1, so having lifelink in addition to infect will be nice for us to stabilize. We play Glistener Elf, a 1 mana 1/1 with infect, which can be mutated onto, and this is by far one of the best turn 1 plays that we can do in our deck, as it is most likely not gonna happen that every of our opponents will make a 1-drop, so it will help us to at least infect one of our opponents, and later on it can still be mutated onto. We play Viral Drake, a 4 mana 1/4 with flying, infect, and also an activated ability, because for 4 mana we can proliferate. This creature is already really helpful and powerful even if we don't mutate onto it, so it turns into an alternative wincon. We play Ikoretz, a 3 mana 2/1 with infect, and when it enters the battlefield each player gets a poison counter. In addition to that we also got Blight Mamba, a 2 mana 1/1 with infect, and also another activated ability. For 2 mana we can regenerate it. One of my favorite creatures in this deck is Rot Wolf, a 3 mana 2/2 with infect, and whenever a creature dealt damage by Rot Wolf this turn dies, you may draw a card. At some point your opponents will be forced to block your infect creature, and if it's a 6/6 trample you will most likely draw cards from this card. Once our opponents got enough poison counters, we want to abuse those for even more card advantage, and also giving our opponents even more poison counters. So we play Distorted Curiosity, a 3 mana sorcery with Corrupted. This spell costs 2 less to cast if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. This card will replace itself and also net us another card because we draw 2 cards. We play Experimental Augury, a 2 mana instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and in addition to that you also proliferate. One of my favorite blue cards in this deck is Prologue to Phyrexia, a 2 mana instant. Each opponent gets a poison counter and you also draw a card. We play Infectious Inquiry, a 3 mana sorcery. You draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life, and each opponent gets a poison counter. We keep going with our card advantage and also following our game plan with Contentious Plan, a 2 mana sorcery. You proliferate and you draw a card. Life is a resource, which is why we play Tezzeret's Gambit, a 4 mana sorcery with 1 blue Phyrexian mana in it, and you draw 2 cards and then you proliferate. We want to keep following our game plan, so we also gotta play a bunch of interaction because we will be target number 1 and all of our opponent's creatures will be coming at us. This is why we play very powerful removal in this deck, which is Ram Through, a 2 mana instant. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. If the creature you control has trample, excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead. We play Tear Asunder, a 2 mana instant with Kicker for 2 additional mana, and you exile target artifact or enchantment. If the spell was kicked, exile target non-land permanent instead. For even more removal and also following our game plan, we play Drown in Ichor, a 2 mana sorcery. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn and you proliferate. Let's force all of our opponents to sacrifice one of their creatures. We play Raskar's Fall, a 3 mana instant. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker and gets a poison counter. My favorite interaction spell in this deck is Infectious Bite, a 2 mana instant. Target target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control, and each opponent gets a poison counter. Last but not least, we play Vona's Hunger, a 3-mana instant with Ascend, and each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you have the City's Blessing, instead each opponent sacrifices half the creatures he or she controls rounded up. You want to win more? You get it. We play a bunch of common counter spells in this deck to protect all of our creatures and our game plan, but due to Brokkos and also the way how we want to win the game, there are a few counter spells that aren't that commonly played in Commander. So we play Stubborn Denial, a 1-mana instant, counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 1 mana. It isn't that common because of its ferocious mechanic. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, counter that spell instead. This makes it an unconditional counter spell for non-creature spells if we have Brokkos on the battlefield, and your opponents will be surprised by seeing that card. In addition to that, we play Corrupted Resolve, a 2-mana instant, counter target spell if its controller is poisoned. Poisoning our opponents is our game plan, and due to a bunch of interactive spells that I have shown earlier, we will most likely achieve that really early on. So we basically got another 2-mana counter spell in our repertoire, and not too many players will see that one coming when they are already counting your counter spells in your graveyard. Alright guys, these were a few cards that I would play in Brokkos, Apex or Forever. Let me know which cards you would add to the deck, which legendary creature I shall feature next. Make sure to check out my full deck list in the notes below, and then I would say see you in the next one. Goodbye guys.